So the product that we are selling is the MaxPro, which is that device that's underneath the bench. So obviously we're a fitness brand. You can see here from the image. We, prior to this Labor Day sale, we had a video that was here on the upper part of the website that showed Shaquille O'Neal. We've worked with him as a partner. And so we changed it up to, because we weren't on sale then, but now we're on sale for Labor Day. And so we're actually in the process of changing the website from Labor Day to something else. Now I'm just waiting on my developer to update that. So we're a portable fitness device. So we're unique in the fact that we use resistance. It's not a band. And so we have the cables. And so it's a portable cable gym. So the problem that we find is that we're not like a Peloton, for example, where we have a fitness bike and everyone knows what it is. And so they go to the website and they buy a bike because you know what a spin bike is. So our problem is that we are trying to educate our consumer on what the product is. So we're hoping that, or most people have come to the website from paid ads. And so, or social media. So most people are familiar, but they still want to learn more. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to educate the consumer on the fact that this is not a gimmicky product. It's been in the wild. We've got over 40,000 people that are using it. We were on Shark Tank, and we've been on some of these publications down there. And so most of our traffic that we send from paid ads, we actually send to our promo page, which is if you click the shop the sale, that's the page. And so what we're trying to do is kind of balance this page, the promo page, with the home page to try to figure out where people want to land. Do they want to be educated first, or do they want to just go right in to see how much it is? So as you can see, it's not cheap. And so we're trying to sell the value of it. It's a heavy duty piece of equipment. We have good reviews. We've got social proof. We've got Shaquille O'Neal. We've got Shark Tank. And so we also have these bundles. So it's just this kind of fine line between selling just the flagship product, which is the MaxPro for $7.99, but we also have these accessories for upsell, but we don't want to overwhelm. And so our website, we launched in 2019 on Kickstarter, and then we started shipping in 2020. So we've been around for a while. And then as you can see here, kind of to add another element of complication, if you want to say that, we are introducing a new product, which is the product on the all the way on the right, which is the MaxPro Air. And so we've been trying and that doesn't ship until November. So we're trying to balance that out, where we originally were showing more of that, but then we were thinking we're confusing people because it's not shipping till November, and our main product and our main revenue comes from the MaxPro. And so we kind of downgraded that product to not be front and center or equal, I guess, to the MaxPro. And I'm head of marketing and have been with the company since the Kickstarter days. So I know, like you said at the beginning of this podcast or this meeting, that I'm very ingrained in the product. I have it, I use it regularly. I'm an avid customer myself. And so sometimes for me, it gets lost. For people who are just coming in and it's new, we lose that because, I've been with the product so long. We have a team, we're a really small team too. And so that is hard. We don't have a ton of investment and a ton of money to do all of the shiny things that like a Tonal and Peloton do. So we're trying to balance all of that out and figure out exactly what our customers want.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, let's kick this off. I think that's good. Kristina and Ina, do you have any other questions before we start taking a deep dive?
Yeah, you gave a great overview, so thank you so much for that. My one question would be, what would you say is the number one challenge that you have right now? So you've shared, a bit about the background, but the number one challenge that you have.
I think it would be on the education of the product from a value standpoint. So making people understand that it's worth the price. And how do we do that? By focusing on the value props of it is, I think, if that answers your question. There's so
On
much
that-
range, just
on
is
that-
like, blah, 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 but
On that same note, I think what would be helpful from a customer journey perspective, you mentioned that most people are coming directly from ads. I just wanted to confirm that. That's where your number one.
Yes.
Okay, so that's really, I mean, I would definitely push it over to Ina first from the ads perspective, because I definitely think that customer journey and understanding what's that landing experience in terms of education throughout the funnel is the most important. It's really that you can be pushing people to different pages depending on if you have your ads and you have top of funnel reach campaigns down to retargeting campaigns.
yes.
You 100% would be pushing people to a different page almost entirely through that journey. So I think that's an important component where you're thinking about where are you pushing people depending on their education of the product.
And then also on that ads piece, I'm curious about what are the different ad types that you currently have, and maybe like another follow-up question to that would be if you said that the challenge is, let's say on the educational piece, understanding the value of, are those ads really conveying that value? So then people are coming in already knowing the value instead of still needing to be convinced. So since that's like step one in the journey, so curious to learn a bit more about that.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
if your ads are getting good click-through rate, but then you're seeing a drop off once they get to the site.
yes. So we have really good relationship, I guess, with Facebook, and that we do see really good numbers, and then we get good click-through rates, and then website, yeah, I mean, conversion rates low, or not where we want to see it or where it's been in the past. It's also hard. We launched in 2020 during COVID, obviously. So like we launched and then we had this like huge, boom of everything. And then, we're 2025 now, obviously. And so things the past 2 years are starting to kind of balance out. But we don't have a ton of money to put towards a ton of testing for ads. So what we found, what works best is we are our evergreen ads, which we have some ads that we turn on and off from years ago that still bring in good numbers and that we like, we run those, and they, like you said, Kristina, we do run them to different pages depending on what type and where they're at in the funnel. And so we just can't get super granular with the type of ads because we don't have a ton of budget to spend. So we're trying to take that budget and really like spread it out. But also, like, we haven't had luck with TikTok. We haven't had luck with YouTube. And so we're in this like Facebook, Instagram kind of hole where we're trying, that's where most of our conversions or most of our traffic is coming from. But I know we're losing people on the website, and that's kind of, I feel like our ads are in a good place and we need to expand more from that standpoint of what like platforms we're using. And we know that, and that's a constant conversation that we have as well. So.
And let me ask you really quickly, like, so you're saying you're kind of toggling, and we're looking at this in mobile now, since we know most of your, your traffic is coming from paid media. It's typically this experience. And so you're like, I think what I'd like to do is look at this page and look at your homepage and start looking at the actual like real estate, trying to understand like some of the biases that we could be starting to tap into on both of these pages. So in terms of, first of all, this is way too late to be on here. I think you probably already know that. You kind of hinted at like, waiting on my developers, like that's hard. And in an under-resourced environment, it does that, but it is actually like, it shouldn't be here. I'm gonna move into the shop the sale though, because I do wanna ask Ina, what you think about this treatment of motion on this page. So like, let's make the user journey, because, when we're looking at CRO, we're trying to like get in the minds of how people get here. So maybe they've seen your ad and your ad is like talking about the product in some way, and now they've come here and this is exactly what they see. So Ina, let's start with you. What are your ideas about this use of motion here?
Yeah, so I think the video is great. And I like when you initially mentioned the Shark Tank, I was curious about the visual. So I'd like that you have this. Yeah, one question that I would have is that if there's an other video segment, because this loop that's happening now, a lot of it is the walking and the hug. So if there's a way to kind of focus more on them using the product. Yeah, it's tight, but that's the one thing that comes to mind. Just is the hug, the walk and the hug, is that half the video? That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Right. And it's almost like you really just, you might even, get a clip that is actually, see, that product part is like the very small part. And like the as seen on Shark Tank is your hero here versus the product itself. And for these kinds of things, you might just have to flash that you are on Shark Tank and then get into.
You want to think about that the 3 second, you're assuming what is the key takeaway. This is a lot of text too. So your takeaway here is all in caps with Shark Tank. The subtext is the portable fitness for everybody. And then a large, I think this would make sense on a PDP potentially, but it's what's the key takeaway? They should be able to skim it real quick. What is the main benefit of this of your products?
Yeah, in terms of the copy, I actually think that this is what you're trying to do here is you're establishing the use case, right? This is, to me, is saying the loss of or the bias of loss. I don't want to lose strength, mobility, and momentum. And then in your second piece, we're kind of picking this apart like a haiku. Secure yours now before the batch sells out. That's your urgency introduction. And then is your social proof. Join the 100,000 who train, blah, 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 blah. If I were you, I would definitely be picking these apart to see which one of them influences that first time customer acquisition more. Is it the loss aversion of strength and mobility? Is it the urgency and is this the time, is this the appropriate place to be introducing the urgency, or is the urgency more appropriate for your PDP, for example? And then, the social proof part here, although you've leaned in on social proof on Shark Tank, and do you really need this to re-emphasize social proof, or can you stack a bias cocktail in a better way?
Okay.
I also would love to see Shaquille O'Neal. I know what Shark Tank is, but I don't know any of these people.
I'm actually the organizer, but I want to point something out because I actually have one.
Oh yes.
So can I explain why I got it? And then
yes, I would love that.
I have a lot of smart equipment, and one of the limitations with these smart weight equipment is the amount of weight within a compact design. And that's your true differentiator, is that the cable resistance system allows for significant weight that other mobile devices don't allow. So most of the other mobile devices are 40, 50 pounds, and yours is much, much different. That was why I got it, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
That is a positioning statement, actually. That is an excellent positioning statement. We are not the flimsy, cheap, 50-pound thing. This is not for people who want a cheap, flimsy 50-pound thing. Yeah. What an amazing, wow, Dan. Surprise.
Yeah.
Added customer interview value. Hey, this has been really great to get to know you, Sabrina. And normally what we do is look at a PDP as well, but in the essence of time, because you spent a lot, I think this is your actually first bottleneck, is this page. So we are going to have to move on. We're happy to have a follow-up meeting with you, but I am going to move on to another brand for now, but hopefully this has been helpful for at least this first bottleneck in your funnel.
Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all.
Thank you for being vulnerable. Appreciate you.